what's going on? We're gonna make some stuff today. Let me get connected to the chat right quick. And if anybody's out there, if they can hear me okay and see me okay, please hit the like button. Ronald Coward, what's going on, buddy? I'm just getting connected to the chat right now, and we'll get started. Sometimes I gotta refresh this a little bit more than I want. Try again. I'll try again here. See if we're getting anywhere. We're not getting anywhere this time. Well, we got a couple likes, so everybody, I guess, can hear me okay. There we go. All right. I think I've got there. Val's Black Cats Rules. What's going on? What's going on? I'm going to be using a sharp knife tonight, Val. I sharpened my knife today, so you have nothing to fear. There we go. All right, cool. Yeah, right. Yeah, right, Val. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be using a sharp knife. But we're gonna be making sauce, so and smash burger. So other than the onions and some tomato, I think we should all be fairly safe. Curl those piggies. I'm gonna be curling those piggies. Scotty from H-Town, what's up, buddy? Yeah, you know, and I'll tell you what, I don't usually like to toot my own horn, but I really think that I nailed this mac sauce. I was really happy with it. Lake Hickory guy, what's going on, buddy? Kevlar gloves? Yeah, maybe I should go along with my Kevlar vest. GH, what's up, buddy? Pat Z, hello, how are you? Good to see you. Everybody smash on that like button right quick. But yeah, you know, like I said, I don't usually toot my own horn, but I really think I got this mac sauce down. We're gonna mix this up. The mac sauce that we're gonna be using, I made about 9 o'clock this morning, so it's had almost 12 hours to sit, but it's pretty on point. And what I did was I took the most popular mac sauce copycat recipe, and then I compared it to a McDonald's chef recipe, and then that's where I came up with what I got going on today. So hopefully we got everything. There she is, the Queen of New England, White Mountain Girl. I hope you're ready for the big nor'easter coming your way this weekend, if it isn't already there. I know you're used to that snow and sleet, the snow and the rain, as Jerry said. But yeah, we got some folks rolling in. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. But yeah, so we're going to start with the sauce tonight because I don't know. I had planned to make sourdough rolls for the buns tonight, but the sourdough gave me some fits. So we're going to just use some brioche buns that I picked up today, and we're going to go from there. So hopefully all goes well. And we're gonna be showing you a weird thing that I've noticed that my dog does. So special sauce. That's right, Handsome Stone. What's up, buddy? How are you? Good to see you. So we're gonna get right into it as we can get, I guess. Can anybody hear the background music? I don't know if that's too loud. Is it too loud? It might be. And Pat Z, thank you so much for sending me that recipe about the mesquite jelly jam. That is so cool. I cannot wait to try that. So move this back just a little bit so I got some room to work, and then we're going to get right into it. I switched over from the Hawaiian shirts to the flannel shirts, so we're back to flannel cam, and we'll be getting a lot of that. And now my mac sauce. This is the mac sauce recipe that we're going to be using tonight. Well, I'll move my thumb. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. I'm going to do a half version of this because I've already made mac sauce today. So I'm going to do a half version of that. So if you guys see this and then you try and compare it back, you'll know why. William Hurt, what's up, buddy? How are you? Good to see you. Yeah, it is flannel time. It's time for the flannel. And I'll go over what's in it as we make it. So I've got a pounded burger, so we're going to be doing some smash burgers. I am absolutely famished, so I'm ready for dinner. Mr. Brawny Badger, yeah, like the paper towels, yeah, Brawny Badger. So here we go. We're gonna get going with this, and like I said, I'm gonna half this. I'm gonna do this in the half, and we're gonna get right into it. If that music's too loud, anybody let me know. I'm still messing with the audio. Can they demonetize you for copyrighted songs? Well, since I'm not to 1,000 subscribers yet, Val, I have no issue with being monetized. So I don't think they can take something away from me that I do not have. Choo Choo Rich, what's up? Good evening. How are you? Good to see you from England. Hope all is well in Preston. All right, very, very cool. So let's get started on this. Let's see, so we're gonna do, this calls for 1 cup of mayo, but we're not gonna do 1 cup. We're gonna do, and I should get a spoon before I get started. I have everything else laid out except for a spoon and an extra dish, but I suppose I'll get by without it. Okay, so anyway. But this actually, like, you know how McDonald's has like that aftertaste from the mac sauce? This has it. This has that taste. There we go. A little bit more. And I'm using, the thing of it is, and I've come to realize with a lot of recreate recipes, that you're not going to get 100% because you're not using the stuff they use, right? You're not using it. So whatever brand of mayo they use, I want to try. I actually want to try food service mayo with this and see if that works any better. And food service relish and food service, because I'm telling you, I'm sure they're not using the highest of quality to make any of the sauces. I would guarantee it. So we've got that, and then we're going to use 1/4 cup. So we want 1/8 of a cup of the pickled relish, and that's why I'm using my plastic ones tonight. Close counts, exactly. Let me move this stuff as I go because we're working in a small spot. So, like I said, my recipe calls for 1/4 of a cup, but I'm going to do the 1/8 of a cup of the relish. And I'm using fairly name brand. This is about what I have, like everybody else has in their kitchen. There we go. Put that in there. Take that out. And then we're going to do 1 tablespoon of regular mustard. Now, most recipes call for some sort of a brown mustard, and I want to try this with what we have in Ohio called stadium mustard. Now, I don't know, and I was going to ask folks tonight, do you guys have stadium mustard, which is like a baseball stadium mustard? And it's real common here, and it's readily available. But I didn't know if other people had it, Because when I first was introduced to stadium mustard, what sauce are you trying to recreate? Big Mac sauce. Big Mac sauce now. And but like I said, I don't know if everybody else has stadium mustard, because I was introduced to it at a Cleveland Indians game, and that's how I knew that. That's how they said, "Oh yeah, everything here is yeah, we're using French's," but I was wondering if stadium mustard would actually be better, because most of these recipes call for either like a Grey Poupon mustard or some kind of a brown mustard, something like that. So let's see. So we want to do, I'm going to do a ½ teaspoon of, and I've got all my stuff out tonight. 4 teaspoon, ½ teaspoon. We're going to do a ½ teaspoon of vinegar into there. You can enjoy that. Never been a fan. Never been a fan of what? Or Golden's mustard. Yeah. There was another, Dusseldorf mustard is what the guy who claimed to be a chef for McDonald's that created Big Mac sauce. He claimed that he used Dusseldorf mustard. Now, how true that is, I have no idea. Because I think anybody who claimed to be the chef for McDonald's and then they gave away the secret sauce recipe, I don't, you know, there was a lady about 15 years ago that gave away the recipe for, tried to give the recipe for Coca-Cola to Pepsi, and I think she did 3 years of federal time. So, blue-eyed lady, what's going on? I've lived in New Jersey and never heard of stadium mustard ever. Never seen it here either. Okay, yeah, stadium mustard, like I said, I was introduced to it at my very first professional baseball game at Cleveland Indians Stadium. And that's where I saw it the first time. So that could be something that's just sort of regional. Like I said, I was going to ask for that. Yeah, I remember that. That's right up there with the Memorex commercial. If you guys are old enough to remember that one. So it calls for a teaspoon of onion powder, which we're going to use. But the big thing, and I'll get to here in a second, I'll get to the big thing here that was the difference that I found made the huge, like, jump in this, is that I realized that, and I want to try this with dehydrated onions, because everything McDonald's does, well, a lot of what they do is with dehydrated onions. So I wanted to try, instead of onion powder, I want to try dehydrated onions, because I used dehydrated garlic in this, which I'm about to show you. Dehydrated minced garlic, which I have laying around. And I used this, and that made all the difference in the world. Jersey blue-eyed lady wonder. So I'm going to do a ½ teaspoon of dehydrated garlic. And that made a huge difference. So I want to try it with dehydrated onions to see if that makes a huge difference or not. So dehydrated minced garlic. Then 1 1/4 teaspoons of paprika. So I'm going to break out my 1/4 teaspoons for that. And we'll do 3 of these. And the recipe that I have that I showed you guys calls for 1 1/4 teaspoon. But we're breaking this in half. And the other thing that I found really interesting with this recipe was that it calls for 1/8 of a teaspoon of white pepper. And I thought that was kind of cool, because then you can't see the pepper in the recipe. Yeah, they don't ever give the variety, but I think honestly, I think it's just white onions, just a regular old white onion. So I'm not gonna. It calls for 1/8 of a teaspoon of white pepper, and I'm just gonna put enough over the top to mix it together, and then you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised at how much this actually looks like once I mix this up. How much it really looks like the actual mac sauce. And you know, it goes back. I think there was a common myth. Yeah, sub. We're getting close to 1,000. Thanks, Greg Hart. I think there was a common myth that was created back in the 80s by the notorious Brad Hamilton. If Brad Hamilton's name sounds even remotely familiar, he was the character who worked at All American Burger in the great movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And he said their secret sauce was ketchup, mayo, and pickle relish. And I think that's where that all started, of people thinking that McDonald's special sauce was ketchup, mayo, and pickle relish, which is basically Thousand Island dressing. But we'll give this a good spin, and you guys tell me what you think. Because I'll break out the actual one I did earlier today, so it could marinate. Now, one of the things is the McDonald's chef, who supposedly made this, said it needed at least 3 hours to sit. So I made mine this morning, and we'll see how that is. Technically, it's Thousand Island dressing. Yeah, technically it is, but there's no ketchup in this. And when you taste it, it doesn't, Big Mac sauce doesn't taste like, it has its own flavor. And I used Hellmann's mayonnaise, and I think everybody regionally has a different kind of mayonnaise that they use. I know a lot of people like Duke's mayo. Other people like Miracle Whip, which I like. I only like Miracle Whip in like salads, like tuna salad, things like that. But if you can see that, the color is what I'm talking about. Like that actually looks like the same color as McDonald's mac sauce, ironically. And I made, like I said, I made a half batch because I have the original in the fridge cooling right now. There we go. Yeah, I think that's pretty on point. Duke's is live here in the South. Yeah. Duke's just got here. Just on some Weber's, please. Yeah, Duke's just got here. It seems like only yesterday, but I would say Duke's mayonnaise just got here a few years ago. And to be honest, I don't find Duke's as flavorful as Hellmann's is, but I could be, it's what, and I didn't grow up with Hellmann's mayo. My mom was a Miracle Whip kind of gal, and I didn't start eating regular mayonnaise till I was like an adult. We have Duke's for a few years, made me forget Hellmann's. Yeah, I guess I've grown, I've had Hellmann's my entire adult life, so I've kind of went the other way with it. It just doesn't seem to have the flavor of Hellmann's. Duke's doesn't, but, that's just my own personal opinion. But anyway, like I said, you really get the color. I think that when I was making this earlier, and I'm about to pull out the other one, I really think that there's a little bit too much paprika in this. but I'll play with it a little bit more. But I tell you what, when I tasted it, and I've tasted it throughout the day as it sat, and I tell you, there's that McDonald's flavor to it. And I've been craving a Big Mac, even though I'm not making Big Macs tonight. I'm only recreating the sauce. I've been wanting a Big Mac for some time, for real. So I'm gonna set this off to the side and get a lid for it. Duke's Mayonnaise is also in New Jersey. They have it in my town at the local supermarket. Okay, blue-eyed lady, roger that. Roger that. Yeah, we just got it. It was always a southern thing. I'd heard about it, like I'd seen it on other channels and, you know, things like that, but we'd never had Duke's here. So, yeah, I'm actually about to have a Big Mac attack. I've been really wanting a Big Mac, but I've been on this record of not really leaving within a mile of my house now for almost 4 weeks. And I kind of wanted to keep that that streak going. But tonight we're going to be using a couple things. We're going to be using the Lodge meat press, which I highly recommend. Best 15 bucks I spent on any kind of Lodge. And we're also going to be using, and I'm going to heat this up here right now, the Lodge Chef Pro Griddle, which I really like. I like to take this out for like when I'm camping or out on the Weber grill. It's only about 19 and a half inches long, so it fits on there fairly decent. And I like this because it's really thick. And when I don't want to go high heat with my more high value griddles, I always pull this one. I've got the double play. I've got a couple double plays and I use those as well. But this one is, this is for reals, like a great griddle. I never use the other side because I don't really use grill pans, but for this, and the other thing, and I'll show you guys this too, the channel, the grease channel on this thing is really deep, and I like that. So like for tonight when we're doing, you know, hamburgers and bacon and all these other things, this thing comes in really, really handy to have that deeper channel, so you're not like constantly soaking up the grease, and you can kind of, it kind of works like a griddle in a restaurant. It's really nice. And for, I think they're like $35, $40. If you don't have a long griddle, they come in really, really handy. That one comes in really, really handy. Duke showed him, let's see, Handsome Stone's out of here. Okay, very cool. Cast iron griddle. Yeah, man, my umpteen thousand cast iron griddles. Some people collect Dutch ovens and things like that. I just have a lot of griddles. Probably, if I had a therapist, they would probably wonder why I have so many griddles. But anyway, that's probably that's a whole different show. So what I'm going to do is, since I was on the dehydrated kick with the garlic today, and I didn't want to leave the house and go get more garlic, I've got a tablespoon of dehydrated garlic here that I brought back I resurrected. Instead of using garlic powder, I'm going to throw that in there. There we go. Why does it say Griddle? Haha. Yeah, you. Uh-oh, somebody's doing spell check. That's cool. Hey Judy, how are you? Judy Touche. Imagine that. So we're going to stick with the black pepper. We're going to stick with black pepper tonight, since we're using it in everything else. And we're just going to sprinkle that on the top. And I was playing on words. And then we're going to do a sprinkle of salt. There we go. Get that in there. And then I'm gonna glove up here. And gonna mash this stuff up. Get this going. That mixed together. Because we're going to do 1/4 pound smash burgers. And that's what we're going to play around with. Some 80-20, approximately, they say. I can't wait to show you this weird thing that the Beagle does that I just noticed today. Well, me and the Beagle were playing in the kitchen today, and I noticed this weird thing because I'm trying to teach her a new trick, and I noticed this weird thing that she does. And it's the goofiest thing. That little dog is a strange critter. She's in there. She got to, since it's cooler weather, she got to put on her, Badgers is into girdles. Oh, girdles. I got you. Roger that. The Beagle has to go, and she is getting a new babysitter. So, she's going tomorrow to get her shots. She's going to get her shots updated, which were overdue by a week. And so she's going to go get her shots tomorrow, and then she's going to meet her new babysitter. This dog is so spoiled. She has a babysitter. That's not even a joke. She has a babysitter, or she's going to have a babysitter. And she's going to have fun because she's going to get to interact with some other dogs for a change, and some other people, and get to have some fun. Which I'm pretty stoked about, actually. She needs it. She needs that. Doggy daycare, 100% doggy daycare. She's going to have a big the place has this big fence. It's this crazy. It's crazy huge how big and fenced in this place is. And she'll get to interact with some other dogs, which she needs to do. She needs to interact with some dogs and do dog stuff. I think that's what she needs. So I'm pretty stoked about that. So we'll set this off to the side. We got our burger put together, keeping it real simple tonight, which was my goal today. Because I've just been, honest to goodness, I've just been wanting hamburgers. I've just been wanting a hamburger, nothing else, and that was it. And unfortunately, and I'll show you the, I'll show you guys the, my sourdough, which was an utter failure, but I actually revived it, and I probably could have made hamburger buns out of it, but it was too late by the time I actually figured out that I didn't screw this up. And I was also pretty excited today because I found those two tomatoes in the garden. I thought I was going to have to use cherry tomatoes, but I should just rinse these off, make it easier on myself. I thought I was going to be cutting up cherry tomatoes today to put on top of the burger, but when I was out picking in the garden earlier, I found those two tomatoes hiding behind the cherry tomatoes. So I was pretty happy about that. And these Cherokee purples that I've grown this year, which these are probably some of the last two that I'll have. I think I've got a couple other ones that might make it till the frost. But I tell you what, if you haven't grown a Cherokee purple tomato in your garden, I highly suggest it. There we go. Like I said, we're going to keep this fairly easy tonight. There is nothing wrong with having, they're absolutely the best tomato I've ever had. Hands down. This out of my way. Into the fridge. And I'll get to, and I was going to, while I was in the fridge, I'll show you guys this. There's the sauce that I made today. This is the sauce from earlier. And I'll tell you what, I am super happy with this. You can see the color in it and the consistency of it. It's Big Mac sauce. It really is. Super, super. And when I taste it, it's Big Mac sauce. I think it's a little paprika heavy, but that can be adjusted later on. But these Cherokee purples are absolutely fantastic tomatoes. And if you notice, Val, my knife is very sharp, because my knife earlier this week was not very sharp, because I dropped it, and I'm actually in the market to get another chef's knife, because this isn't gonna cut it for very long. With having those chips in it. And I sharpened it down to where the chips aren't as noticeable, but they're still there. Definitely still there. Dang, today's how you we will get a call for night. You know what's funny is I was perusing YouTube, not today, but I think it was yesterday, and they had this channel. I kind of had that like my autoplay on, and there was a channel where it was just this guy showing people on live stream cooking shows that completely like screwed up, set their house on fire, all these things, and I was just sitting there thinking, man, I do not want to be that guy that like slices the tip of my finger off on a live stream and then end up on this guy's YouTube channel. And I was thinking about you too, Val. 100%. We need to get Honey with his knife skill. I don't know why. I have no idea. I have no idea why that is. Because I think my knife skills are fine. I mean, look at these things. That's exactly perfect. I mean, that's perfect hamburger. That's perfect hamburger tomato right there. Perfect hamburger tomato. Put my vinegar away. Move a couple things out of my way while I get over there and get ready to put this up here. Yeah, Rich. These tomato. I mean, the purple Cherokee tomato is an heirloom tomato, and it takes forever for it to grow. But I will tell you this: it is absolutely It's absolutely great. It's not too sweet. It's not bitter. It's got a great texture to it, and you can do anything with it. The ones, I think my dad loves the purple ones and the yellows. Yeah, the yellows are really good. I need to grow yellows next year. I want to do the yellow like beefsteak style, and the yellow cherry tomatoes as well. Those are really good. I have a neighbor that grows the yellow cherry tomatoes, and I absolutely love those. Absolutely love them. And I'd never had a yellow tomato before until my neighbor lady kind of hooked me. She was like, here, you got to try one of these. So we're going to do 1/4 pounds of these. That's pretty close. We're definitely not going to use all 4 of these, but we're going to use 2 of them because I'm having a double. Boy, your boy's on it tonight. He's got that weight down. I'm nothing but scars, Val. I'm held together with staples and screws and it's like I've always said, they're not going to take me to the cemetery when I'm done on this planet. They're going to take me to the scrapyard. My whole body is metal. Oh man, there we go. I'm hitting these right. So if my butcher's scale's right and my scale's right, then we should be right at 1 pound. Pretty darn close. So he's robbing me. We figured out my butcher's robbing me because I trust my scale more than him. Bandages and bubble gum. Yeah, dude, super glue. I am very well versed at putting closing big open wounds with super glue. Yeah, you know, they've happened. Granted, most of the to you, yeah. I wish mine did. Mine have just been like one after the next. But like the Johnny Cash song goes, if you're gonna be dumb, you better be tough. Let me turn up my griddle just a little bit. And we'll get these on there and we'll get this all going. And here, I'll show you guys this. This is funny. This is how bad I didn't want to leave town. The one thing that I can't get in my town is fresh vegetables. So, but the only place that we only have one fast food place in the whole town, and that's a Subway. And I did not want to drive an hour round trip to go get lettuce, which was the only thing I needed today. So where did I get my lettuce? That's where I got my lettuce today. That's where I got my lettuce. Totally transparent on this channel. Let me put my stuff away here real quick. I'm gonna let you guys just marinate with that right quick. I'm gonna throw the condiments out of my way and clear myself a space off to the side, and I'll be right back with you guys. And I had to do a beagle check. I'm missing the beagle. I think the beagle, hold on, I think the beagle's in the garage. Hold on a second. I think I shut the door behind her. Biggs. Biggs. Beagle. You want a treat? Beagle. Hold on. Where is that dog? Oh, there she is. Okay. Sorry guys, I thought she got shut into the garage when I was out there. There she is. There she is. And she's got her sweater on. She's real happy about her sweater. She's got that sweater going. Yeah, and that's what I did. Greg Hart, I swear to God, that's what I did. I was like, look, I said, all I want is lettuce in the smallest container you have. And the girl, she was like a high school kid or something, because school just got out. And she was like, well, I have to charge you for that. And I said, well, absolutely, you have to charge me for that. And it was a whopping, she goes, I think I'm gonna have to charge you like $1. And I'm like, I think I could swing the $1, sweetie, so go ahead and do that. Yeah, she's got it. The funny thing about the sweater is, Ronald Coward, is Ming has the exact same sweater. They have matching sweaters. But yeah, she got locked. I thought she was locked out in there in the garage. But yeah, and then when they rang me up for the lettuce, it was 60 cents. So it was actually super cheap to get I might start getting all my lettuce at Subway from here on out. Oh, but that's the kind of day. That's the kind of day that I've had, actually. Which, you know, if the worst thing I had to do was get my lettuce from Subway today, it's been a good day. But yeah, Ming and if I find the picture in my on my phone, I'll actually put that up. But anyway, okay, so let's quit staring at the hamburger. And we'll go over here to the griddle because it's raring to go. It is raring to go. I can actually take this down just a little bit. Just wanted to heat that up some. And if you notice that spot back here on there, I had a rust spot on there. And if you guys are not familiar with the cast iron world, the Lodge rust eraser, I tell you what, these rust erasers are great. I highly recommend it. I've been using, I bought one back in winter time last year, and for spot rust, it actually works really well to where you don't have to make a big deal, you know what I mean, and have a big to-do about, yeah, it's girdle time. It is girdle time. But yeah, you don't have to make a big deal about getting like vinegar and baking soda and scrubbing it off. Those things work great. And then I just I heated it up, put a little cast iron cure, and the rust was gone. That was it. I don't know if I would like necessarily do like a whole pan that's rusty like that, but for little bits of spot rust, I mean, I've got no complaints about it, to be really honest. I don't have any complaints with that whatsoever. Just gotta get the bacon out. There we go. Get our bacon going. There we go. I think we'll just need like 4 strips of bacon. There we go. That'll be cool. Oh, I'm sure she did, Greg. I'm sure she did. She's like, this guy came in and just wanted bacon. What a weirdo. But I was trying to think, you know, where do I possibly go to get, you know, I just didn't want to drive an hour for the little bit of lettuce. And I have to, like I said, the Biggs is going to the vet tomorrow, so we have to go to town anyway. And I didn't want to have to, I didn't really want to have to go and mess around with going into town today for one thing, when I got a whole grocery list that needs to be taken care of tomorrow. Yeah, exactly, 100%. Okay, so we got our bacon going. Let me get one of my boats out. Get a bacon boat out of here. And a paper towel. So we got somewhere to put our bacon when we're done with it. I'm still trying to clear off a little spot to put everything behind me. That's the mystery of the whole show. Everything goes on behind me. So we got the bacon going. Don't need these cups anymore. But like I said, Greg, it's customers like honey that make memorable days. Yeah. A lot of times I think a lot of places where I go, it makes it a memorable day. The silliness that I bring to things. Yeah. Wait, I'm telling you, I was, like I said, I had everything else I needed to make everything for tonight's burgers, except for lettuce. And I'm like, oh man, I'm not driving. Because literally, my closest store is probably 30 30 minutes, so it's an hour round trip to go to the grocery. And I just didn't see doing that for lettuce when I had to go to the store tomorrow. The lettuce guy. Yeah, at that store. And it's funny because I never go to Subway. I like Subway. I'm a Subway club kind of guy when I go there, but I never go. I really don't. Because I just never eat out. I never eat out. That's the biggest thing. I never eat out anywhere. Known as the lettuce guy. Hey, the lettuce guy came in here. Yeah, it's probably true too. Oh. We'll throw a little avocado oil on the back to get things rolling. The lettuce guy. Yeah. So there we go. Alright. We got that on there. And pop that on. And one of these balls of burger. And smash that thing to death. Alright, that looks good. Guys, get you guys over a little more on top of that. There we go. And a big spatula. I can't find a big spatula for all this menagerie. So I'm going to do a double. There we go, smashing, yeah. Let that cook. Yeah, that's going to be nice. See how our bacon's doing down here at the bottom. Oh, it's sticky. I'm going to have to look at this one burner. It doesn't seem to be getting hot anymore. I don't know what's going on with that. No, that's out. There we go. I mean, the bacon looks like it's cooking okay. But I knew this griddle needed a little bit of work for absolute certain, because it's been, I haven't camped this year, and that's what I like about these. One of the big things that I really like about having these Lodge griddles is this one, the Chef Pro, is super, super thick. And so I can turn the heat up, I can throw it on a campfire, I can do all kinds of stuff on it that I necessarily might not want to do with, that I wouldn't do with like my vintage griddles, the thinner griddles like my Wapoks and things like that. There we go. How about that? That's what I'm talking about. Right there. How about that? There's some cheese on that bad boy. There we go. There we go. How's that going? and we'll get one of these buns. We're gonna go ahead and get one of the buns buttered up. I think I'm just gonna do, as far as tonight goes, I think I'm just gonna do the double. There's some butter on there. It's really cold in my kitchen today. Really cold. It's like 61 degrees in here right now. Which just like a couple weeks ago, or a week, like the last time we did a stream, it was like 85 degrees. So we're gonna let these buns sit on here and move the hamburger out of the way. Those buns shouldn't take very long, but I like that. That's nice to have that sort of cool center in the middle, so I can kind of do everything right there where I need it to be. There we go. Keep frying up this bacon. I can always press that down if I absolutely need to. There we go. Move these around a little bit. Yeah, I'm digging that. Got the buns at Burger King. I got the buns at the, I'm gonna keep it real. Good to see you again. How are you? Well, I'm taking applications for a professional chef. Well, when I find one, I'll let you know. That's definitely not me. I'm all about the cast iron. We're more about the iron here. I don't know much about being a chef. There we go. Yeah, let's press that down just a bit. I'm really just trying to soften these up. There we go. There we go. That toward the middle. So that burner in the middle is a little smaller. So we'll try and work our bacon around a little bit. There we go. Flip that. But it's sizzling real good. There we go. I've seen enough, you're hired. Thank you, sweetie, appreciate it. Thank you so much. Because I really do appreciate it. Let's see, nice to see you, yeah. Let's see. Alright, so that's enough of that on the back. Let me get my plate. So I'm going to set that off onto the plate. I got it, like I said, this is one of those that's, without having the buns to make tonight, it kind of messed me up a little bit. I'm going to take this one off, and I'm going to throw that next one on there. Add a little bit of oil back there in the back, because we were getting to season this stuff up real nice tonight. Getting a real good seasoning. And then we'll throw that on there. And that bad boy gets smushed. That kind of chill. Those done. Bacon's going along pretty well. And we'll take these over. There we go. Looking good. Sounding good. There we go. Man, that smells great. That little bit of, how do I say it, putting that garlic in there, that really made a lot of difference, I think. Made a lot of difference. What's the turkey making smasher? I can't seem to get it right. Just smash it. That's really it. And then what I like to do is I either let all the steam come up, or I let all the, like the blood come to one side, and then I flip it over. Yeah, that bacon's going great. There we go. And this griddle can take a lot of heat, really can, which is working out nice. But that's the only trick I know, is just to see how that blood at the top and the steam's coming up. When that blood's coming up, oh, had a little stick right there. Flip that over, and right there. And we'll get our cheese on that. Got one other piece of cheese here. There we go. And let that just keep rocking and rolling back there in the back. Bacon's getting pretty close. I think that bacon's rolling. Let me see. Let's check the comment section. Old man with the pan's in the chat. Are you really? Why y'all calling him old man? Because the old man with the pan is his handle. That's his YouTube name. He picked that, I guess. I didn't pick it for him. And thank you so much to Old Man with the Pan, who tonight was actually, I spoke with him earlier today, and he was giving me some sourdough pointers, because my sourdough, where I messed up with my sourdough today is that I didn't do a stretch and fold with it, and that wasn't really what he was helping me with, but what he was helping me with was trying to figure out how to save my dough that I made today, because I actually saved the dough, and I'll show you guys here after we have a little bit of this hamburger and we get this get this done. But I actually saved the sourdough dough that I was making for the buns, but I guess I'm not gonna use it for buns anymore. I'm gonna make some bread later on tonight. So, but he gave me the lowdown on what to do, on how many times to push this stuff down, how many times I have to let it rise. So I didn't do the stretch and fold. When you do sourdough, after about 30 minutes of making the dough, do your stretch and fold. I did not do that. So don't do what I did. So let's go over here and we're going to start putting this bad boy together. Yeah, this is just black pepper kind. So we have that. I did get a little brown on that part. Put our bacon down on top of there. There we go. Nice bacony burger. I'm digging that. Move that off to the side. I don't need that anymore. Now remember, this is why they call them toppings, because you put them on the top. So you got that. You got that. Big tomato with these onions that we put together. Those onions in there, and then what I like to do with my shredded lettuce that I got to what I like to do with my lettuce is make this little kind of corral for the lettuce to sit in, so it stays sort of on there. There we go. And then, as the McDonald's brother said, you only need, and where did I put him? I don't know what I did with my pickles. That's funny. Oh, they're there. Almost lost the pickles. You only need 2 pickles per McDonald's, so I'm just going to do 2 pickles. Right there on the top. And then we'll do a nice smattering of our sauce onto there. Put it on there. Just a smidge onto the bun. Let's smash that down. There we go. There we go. I'm telling you, I think this is gonna work. I think that's honestly gonna work. So you got a double smash burger, Colby Jack cheese, Cherokee purple tomatoes, white onions, pickles on some Recreate, with some mac sauce, and let's see how this tastes. We'll move this a little bit closer to me, because this is gonna be messy. Luckily, you guys can't see me, and it's dripping. Oh man, look at that! It's not dried out. Mmm. Man, that's good. And that right there is the perfect cheeseburger for me. Maybe some American sliced cheese, but I'll take this all day long. Mmm. Mmm. That is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. That's a burger right there. No, I don't have any chips. And I didn't want to make fries. I'm kind of burnt out on like deep fried food. So I didn't want to make fries tonight. But yeah, right there. I mean, that's kicking it right there. Mmm. Mmm. Yeah, that's good. That is really, really good. Cynthia Wesley, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Bears and cigars. What is on that? It has got Cherokee purple tomatoes, the heirloom ones. It's got white onions. It's got homemade mac sauce. It's got Colby Jack cheese, 2 Vlasic pickles on toasted brioche buns. That's what it's on. Yes, I did. Reba Fluff. I did make this burger. John Nichols. Cora Egypt. I don't know what that. I don't even know what that means. Cheeseburger. But yeah, it's a cheeseburger. Tyler Adams. How are you, Tyler Adams? Good to see you. And the soda's not. The pop's not really cutting it for me. I think it actually needs a beer. And I might grab one when I go. I'll show you guys my my starter that I resurrected today, which I cannot believe. And this is the starter. The bread that the dough that I'm about to show you guys is the same dough that came from the dehydrated sourdough starter that I found in my garage that I put out there 2 months ago and resurrected that starter. And I can't believe that it's actually going to make bread. Right now that's a diet pop, but I'm gonna go grab a garage beer. Have you ever seen that, Cricket? You ever seen garage beers? They're fantastic. And I'm gonna take one more bite, and then I'm gonna move this off to the side, and I'll show you guys the starter. The starter came out great, and I'm gonna grab a beer. Man, that's good. And it is drippy. Very drippy. I'm actually, with this big beard, well, Cricket, thanks for showing up, man. Hit the sub button. We do this every Thursday night at 8 o'clock and Sunday mornings at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, a Guinness and some onion rings would go well with this. But yeah, let me, I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'll show you guys that starter. Let me go out to the garage and grab my starter. I'll show that to you real quick. And an old burner, yeah. Okay, so, sorry, it took me a second. I had to walk out to the garage to grab this. So here's my starter. So I made this starter. I'll give you everybody the rundown on that. But bueno, hello Anna, how are you? Yeah, Cynthia, you're right. There's not much room with all that burger. That's a big burger. That's a half pounder. So I'll give you guys the lowdown on this. So right around Labor Day, a week before Labor Day, I wanted to make sourdough out of this starter that I got, this 25-year-old starter I got. Well, anyway, Ming, my daughter, and I decided we were going to make bread, and then we decided the next day to go out of town. So I'm using, Cynthia, I'm using the Lodge Pro Griddle, the two-sided. But yeah, so anyway, so we put the starter out there, and then I accidentally forgot about the starter that was sitting in my garage. So it had one of these bonnets on it with a ring. It was in a mason jar with a ring and one of these bonnets, not plastic over it. And I forgot about it for almost 2 months, or however long it's been since a week before Labor Day. It dried out into a disc. It almost looked like a cracker. And yeah, I do. Yeah, thank you very much, Tyler. Yeah, I'm getting to that. So, and here's the garage beers. If you've never had a garage beer, guys, get yourself some garage beers. These are phenomenal. They're not real high in alcohol, but they taste amazing. Anyway, so I forgot about that starter for however long it's been. I went out there 2 weeks ago, and I found it. I was actually looking for a screwdriver or a tool. I was looking for a tool, ratchet, I forget. And I found this sitting on one of the shelves out there, that starter. And because it had this bonnet on it, and it was in a mason jar, it wasn't closed up, so it dried on its own. It dried out, almost like a cracker in the bottom of the mason jar. So I was like, man, I originally brought the jar, back into the house to just take out moldy starter and wash the jar. But I opened it up and I found that cracker, the starter, which had turned into like this dried out cracker. So what I did was I broke it up into little pieces. I put it into a little bit of water, about that deep, into a mason jar, and I let it sit there for like 2 or 3 days. Because it wasn't moldy, it wasn't anything. It looked really good. It was like dehydrated starter. So I let it sit for 3 days and rehydrate, and then I did a starter, which I put, I always do 30 grams of starter with 30 grams of flour and 30 grams of water. And I did that, and I kept feeding it for like 3 days, and I'll be damned if it didn't take back off. And that's my sourdough starter that I have right now. And I did this yesterday, and I started it out, and I messed it up. I started it at like 5 o'clock yesterday, and I messed this up I made it, and then I didn't do the stretch and fold. You want to do 3 stretch and folds with sourdough bread. And just got here. Hi everyone, nice looking to Scar Guy 19. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Anyway, I didn't do because this is my actual second attempt at making sourdough anything, and I was going to make the buns for tonight, starting yesterday. But I thought for sure that I messed it up, because when I mixed it up and did it yesterday, and used my sourdough starter that was from that sourdough starter that I forgot in the garage, I didn't stretch and fold it. Like I said, this is my second attempt at making anything. I didn't do it. So it sat there, and I ended up falling asleep. So that sat out in the garage like all night long. Sat out there. So I got up this morning and I was like, man, can I fix this or can I not? Because it was down to here. It was down to here at the bottom this morning at like 9 a.m. So what I did was, I did the stretch and fold at 9 a.m. I did another stretch and fold at 9:30, another stretch and fold at 10 o'clock, and another at 10:30. I put it back out in my garage my garage is about 73 degrees, pretty constant because it's the garage. I'm not going in and out of there. And I'll be damned if I'm not going to be making sourdough. I'm not going to make the rolls tonight or the buns, but I'm actually going to make, and going back to what Old Man in the Pan said, is I take this out here in a little bit when I get everything cleaned off. I'm going to shape this. I'm going to put it in a Benetton bowl. And then I'm going to let this sit in my fridge overnight and cold proof. And then tomorrow I'm going to make a loaf of bread out of it. But I mean, I honestly can't believe that, number one, I have a starter. I still have my original starter in the refrigerator, but I have a starter. I made this dough out of a starter that I forgot in my garage for a month and a half, at least a month and a half. Worked with it and worked with it and worked with it, got it back to go into a starter, and then made this today. And you can see, I mean, it's got, up here at the top, I hope the light's not messing up, but it's got bubbles. And I've screwed this thing up so many times, and I have such a good starter that you just have to keep, sourdough, man, is one of those things you just have to keep working at. It's crazy. It's crazy how it works. But, you know, anyway, M Channel, is that the name? I can't read it. M Channel. What am I making? I made smash bacon burgers on brioche buns a minute ago, but I'm just showing my sourdough starter right now that I made, and I'm gonna have to clean up the kitchen. And I think tonight that I'm going to I'm gonna knock this back down. And I'm going to put it in a bowl and put it in the refrigerator, and we're going to try and I'm just going to make bread out of it tomorrow. Instead of trying to make buns, I'm going to make just a whole loaf of bread to go with all my stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Hard to kill starter, even the black floaty stuff. Is like, see, Old Man in the Pan, we talked about this earlier. This is where I'm at with that from earlier today. And you're saying to just go ahead and put it in one of those Benettons, put it in the fridge and let it go, and we'll do it tomorrow. And not just, because my thinking was, honestly, when I saw it, was to just take it out, shape it, and bake it. But evidently that's not the case. Correct? Because that's one hell of a size. I mean, if you guys can see it. That's a hell of a big loaf right there. A hell of a big loaf. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you guys that. I think it's kind of cool. I think it's neat, man. Sourdough, I've been playing with that off and on this summer. And it's going to be something that I do through the winter. It's going to give me something kind of crazy to do. Oh, is Fuzz in here? Is Fuzz Fork in here? I was actually going to say something about Fuzz earlier when I first got on, and I forgot about it. But yeah, Fuzz, you got to quit sending me those links, dude. Fuzz has been sending me links to like things about cast iron, and it takes me to AOL's main page. It just sends me to AOL's like search page. Oh, he's not in here. He's just out there doing it. But yeah, I don't know what Fuzz keeps sending me. He sends me these links, and then I have to copy and paste them. And then when I go to them, it takes me to AOL search page. And I don't know if Fuzz is like a huge Kiss fan, but ever since he's done this, and I've like linked over to AOL to search what he's like sending me, which it never actually gives me what he's sending me. I get nothing in my algorithm but like AOL stuff about Ace Frehley. It's the strangest thing ever. Which, I mean, I dig Ace Frehley. Ace Frehley's my favorite Kiss member, but not like that. So what's on the Wi-Fi, honey? Tonight is Psychedelic Western. That's what we're listening to. Yeah. Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm digging the Psychedelic Western tonight. It was Tiki Lounge on Monday and Psychedelic Western today. I don't know. I think we might do jazz for I think we might do some jazz for Sunday. Maybe some acid jazz. Acid jazz would be good. He's watching but can't type. Oh, I got you. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna move this out of my way. I'm gonna bring my burger back, finish that up, and we'll do all that. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that the sourdough. I'm so crazy about this stuff. I can't believe it worked. Plus, I'm lucky that my garage. I mean, I haven't been opening and closing my garage, so it hasn't changed. The temperature hasn't changed. It's like stayed at 7 constant. Like it's between 71 and 73 out there. He just shares cast iron videos. He runs across. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, he just sends me to AOL. He sends me to AOL like main page. Oh, you're listening to Courtney Pine? Very cool. Very cool. But yeah, we're just gonna finish it up. This was quick. Like I said, I plan to do those the sourdough buns, but that just didn't pan out. So we got brioche buns from the deli. No, not really. It's mostly the runny part of it is well, the burgers stayed pretty juicy, but it's mostly just the tomato. The tomatoes are really really flavorful and full of juice. But yeah, that sorry. Yeah, these are really good. Sorry, I'm so hungry. But here, I'll show you this thing that Beagle did that I realized today. Hey, Biggs. But yeah, for a smash burger, it's definitely juicy. All right, so we got the Beagle out here. Beagle. Hey, where's your ball? Can you go get your ball? We gotta have the ball to do this. Hey, where's your ball? Well, you're not gonna do it. Oh, you're too worried about burgers. You're too worried about hamburgers, aren't you? You're not gonna get your ball. Maybe you'll do it for Sunday. I get you. You're just after treats. You're after treats now. But this was funny. I've been trying to teach this dog to catch, and she has been refusing to catch. And I was trying to teach her something today, and she wasn't doing it. But I have to have the ball to do the total thing. You want a treat? Or you want a piece of this burger? You want some burger? Give me a spin. She was sleeping, guys. I'm sorry. She's getting ready to give me a spin. Can I get a spin? In your new little, in your funny little sweater. There you go. Travis Watson, what's up, buddy? How are you? All in between the fingers in the corner of my mouth. Yeah. All right, give me a spin. There you go. Yeah, I was going to show you this thing she's doing with the ball. We figured out a new trick, but I don't know where the ball is, and she isn't telling me because she wants a piece of the hamburger. So that's how it is. She said, let her throw the ball and you go catch it. Yeah, it was kind of, to be honest, Cynthia, it was pretty close to that. And she just, hey, can you speak? Can you speak? Can you speak? There you go. All right. It was kind of like that, though, to be honest with you. But she gets to go to the veterinarian tomorrow, so, and she's getting her shots. She gets her yearly update, and then gets to go to the puppy farm, get to see where she's going to be hanging out here and there while I'm working. So, she gets to go out and see some other. She gets to go play with some other dogs tomorrow. So she doesn't know she's going to be excited about it, but she's going to be excited about it. You want a piece of burger? There you go. Give me a spin, kid. There you go. All right. There you go. Yeah, she's got to get a few shots, so she's going to. But she gets thank you, blue-eyed lady, and she thanks you too. Yeah. So she gets to go have a hamburger. She gets to go. Well, actually, she's going to Lee's Chicken. She doesn't know it, but she gets to go to Lee's Chicken after it's all over with tomorrow. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I thank everybody so much for showing up. We're going to, I got to clean this kitchen up, get my stuff away. I'm going to attempt to get that bread formed up before I get out of there. Yeah, Cynthia, thank you so much for stopping in tonight. I really appreciate that. Greg Hart, thank you so much for showing up. William Hurt, thanks for showing up. Lake Hickory guy, thanks for showing up. All the folks out in the stratosphere, I thank you so much for showing up to this silly little channel that makes goofy stuff with 100-year-old cast iron pans and puts up with me and my silly little dog. He comes and says hi. We really appreciate it. Ronald Coward, thank you so much. Pat Z, glad to see you. But yeah, I just appreciate everybody for showing up and all that. And hopefully we might have a pop-up show, messing around with that sourdough starter that I showed you guys tonight, and see where we're progressing with that in the morning. And if not, I will definitely see you guys. Val's Black Cats Rule, thank you so much for showing up. Appreciate that. And Val, your ginger snaps still rule. I appreciate. They're so good. I still have some in the freezer. I got a couple out today for the weekend. Cigar Guy 19, thanks so much for showing up, buddy. I appreciate it. Hope you stop back by, and all the other new faces that came in and said hello tonight. I hope you guys come back on Sunday at 11 o'clock Eastern time. We've got another show. We've got another stream, and it's going to be a good one. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But anyway, hope to see you guys Sunday, and I will see you guys in the comment section. All right, see ya.